What's up YouTube, it's your boy VGC back at it again with another Pokemon VGC video. Today we're going to be covering the top teams and the results from the biggest Pokemon tournament of all time. The Pokemon Champions Grand Champions Festival hosted by SkrawVGC. Go check out Scrawl, I'll have Scrawl's links in the description down below as well as my own. But let's hop right into discussing the results of this tournament that just wrapped up. Alright, so the tournament just wrapped up, recording results right now. Rogov won using Charizard Y and Eternal Flower Floette. We actually had a lot of cool stuff, so we're going to start down here. We're going to start with the bottom of our cut. This is going to be 20. So we have VGCcorner Brady here. Brady is going to be playing this balanced team. He's known for balance. It is Perish, it looks like, which is cool. So he has Mega Gengar. You're going to see a trend where actually Mega Gengar had a decent amount of placements in this top cut. So Brady played a Mega Gengar that did have access to Perish Song. However, this is very clearly a rain balance team, which is very cool to see. So you have the Shadow Ball, Perish Song, Disable. You also have Palafin utilizing Jet Punch, Wave Crash, Encore, which is very cool. You can Encore Disable using Palafin, which is a very cool tech. Shout out to the guy in my previous video in the comments earlier today or yesterday asked what I thought about Palafin with Encore on the team. I said, probably not. Obviously, Brady made it work. This is very cool, very incredible. Shout out to Brady for that. But the Choice Scarf Hydreigon is actually also really cool. You notice it has U-turn. This allows you to U-turn your Hydreigon out faster than other Pokemon while still maintaining weather control by swapping your Pelipper in after they Mega Evolve, which is actually super, super cool. Additionally, we have Incineroar, it's the GOAT. And then Focus Sash, Mousehold. I think Mousehold's criminally underutilized, and I think this is just a very strong set. So this is a very good team piloted by Brady here. I'm sure he'll be making content on this team, so go check him out as well. Then we have Dim Sum. This is Toller. I believe this may be the same team he played in the Victory Road Tour. Actually, I think he might have had a Rotom on that team, but it's a similar style of team. Gardevoir plus Mousehold. Toller really likes this Mega Gardevoir, and Mousehold is just such a good partner with that. And then we have No Item Talonflame. This is a set that I personally also really like. I've been really enjoying No Item Acro Talonflame with a bulky Basculegion utilizing the Citrus Berry. We have Chople Berry Kingambit. This does live non-adamant CCs from Sneaslers. Some Sneaslers are going back to adamant. It's a big toss-up between adamant and Jolly. If you guys want to know more about like how to pick your nature and how to watch meta trends, I can make a video on that as well. But we do have that Chople Berry Kingambit to live those non-adamant CCs. They also could be like adamant, not max attack CCs that it can live, but the adamant ones, it doesn't live. And then Choice Scarf Garchomp, just a really strong Pokemon. Garchomp is going to be a Pokemon that we see a lot in this tournament. So that is going to be that team there. So congratulations. And then moving on, we have Kaz Z. So Kaz Z is playing a team that did do somewhat well in the previous Victory Road Tour. It's a Japanese team. The items change on this team from team to team, but it's Aerodactyl featuring, this one is holding the Aerodactylite and Mega Frostlass. So it's a dual Mega team with a Focus Sash Basculegion, which I really, really like right now. I think it's just an incredible revenge killer. Sneasler, Kingambit, Garchomp. You'll see pretty much these same 6 on a variety of teams. I think one of the teams on the video that might be coming out in the next day or two is the same team, but I think different items on it, which is really funny. But this team can be played a bunch of different ways. Sometimes the Frostlass has sub, and then sometimes the Aerodactyl, if they don't play Mega, can be Wide Guard over like Dual Wing Beat, which is interesting. And the Garchomp I've seen with like Hobon Berry or Scarf as well. Kingambit typically runs Chopple on these teams, but there's a 4-attack dark black glasses version that is also pretty playable, and then we do have that White Herb Sneasler as well to round off the team. Moving on, we have the 17th place team piloted by TKL. This is a Mega Floette team utilizing again Mousehold, just an incredible support Pokemon. Next to that Focus Sash Basculegion, I mentioned this is such a good revenge killer in the end game. We have that Citrus Berry Incineroar. We have the Leftovers Corviknight. Corviknight is honestly a sleeper pick in the current meta. It's just very good into pretty much everything that's not Charizard Y. Having that Mirror Armor also bouncing back that Intimidate is pretty good. However, it is a little awkward into the Milotic teams because they get they can Icy Wind you and then get their competitive boost and then Scald you back, which is just terrible. And then we have Choice Scarf Garchomp and Eternal Flower Floette. This is a 3-attack Eternal Flower Floette. I think 3-attack is the one that did well in this tournament. Is all of them were 3-attack. I do think 3-attack is probably the best way to play it currently. Floette's funny because it's sort of the same thing with like Adamant for Jolly Sneasler. Is like if the 3-attack Floette is doing well, you'll see a rise of the Calm Mind plus like just a bunch of support mons next to Eternal Flower Floette, and then that'll rise And then once that's super popular, people would go like a super hyper offense, 3 attack Floette team. It's just very interesting how that ebb and flow works, which I think is pretty cool. And then we have Geo 97 or Geo. This is a double mega team with Mega T-Tar, Mega Scovillain. Mega Scovillain actually had a surprisingly strong, it's a triple mega team actually. Scovillain, T-Tar, and Frostlass. I did not see the Frostlass. That's actually insane. Obviously T-Tar is a Pokemon that doesn't need to mega every time. And then also you can, T-Tar is also a mon, so you can bring it without megaing. So you can bring like Scovillain T-Tar +2, or you can bring like Frostlass. I guess you're not bringing Frostlass T-Tar, but you can bring like, I guess you're not bringing Frostlass Scovillain. So it's just like T-Tar Scovillain's a mode. Maybe you're bringing Frostlass T-Tar, but I doubt it. That's odd. But either way, just actually really cool that this got so far. And it's so interesting. And we have that Sneasel with the White Herb, the Choice Scarf Badge, Ski Legion, and a Leftovers Corviknight. Like I said, this one does have Iron Head, which is good into the ice types like Floette. We will see Ninetales come back at this tournament. Anyone who's familiar with Reg H knows Ninetales was incredible in that format. And then it's also quite good into like Opposing Sand. Overall, Iron Head, pretty good move right now. And then, like I said, the Scovillain is just really good with how much physical attackers are prevalent. It's a really interesting mega because it's very supportive. However, it's also quite strong on its own. Next, we have C North 26. This is a similar team that we're going to see throughout the tournament. It must have been a building group or something, or this is just a team that a lot of people came to the same conclusion on. That's sort of this Gengar balance team. So we have Mega Gengar, Double Attack Perish Song. We have a Lowland Ninetales featuring Nevermelt Ice Blizzard Encore Disable, because why waste a slot on your Gengar for Encore Disable when Lowland Ninetales can do both? Really cool there. Citrus Berry, Incineroar. Again, Incineroar is just such a good mon. Choppleberry, King Gambit, Focus Sash, Sneasler, and Dragonfang Multiscale Dragonite with Dragon Claw, Low Kick, Protect, and Extreme Speed. We will see other ones that I do think have Tailwind in that slot, but overall, just a very good mon to round out these balanced teams. And then that Focus Sash Sneasler, again, is another way to play Sneasler. It's Focus Sash Unburden of note. Typically, I've seen Focus Sash Poison Point. So Focus Sash Unburden's cool because when your Sash does get broken, if you get EQ dropped to Sash, cool, now you're faster on the follow-up or on the crackback, which is just incredibly good. After C North in 14th place, we have Marth. Marth is going to be playing a Eternal Flower Floette balance team. Again, triple attack Eternal Floette. Single mega with the Sash Basque Legion. Oh, sorry, it is a double mega. It's Mega Aerodactyl here as well. My bad. I missed that. But we have the Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is sort of like T-Tar, where it's a mon that can come to games and it doesn't necessarily need to mega. Obviously, in CTS, that's better because your opponent might not know that it's not Sash and might play differently. However, overall, Aerodactyl is just very good right now, and you can definitely bring it without megaing it. We have the Citrus Berry Garchomp, one of my favorite sets. Just so bulky. It allows you to live many things. And then we have White Herb Sneasler, again, very good into the Incineroar. This team is very susceptible to Incineroar, so it does have White Herb Sneasler next to King Gambit. And this King Gambit is opting for Iron Head instead of Low Kick, because they do have the EQ on the Garchomp to deal with a lot of the rock types in the game, and then they want to have more answers into the opposing Floette. Next, we have Hoge. I believe this is Nicholas Hoge. He posted on Twitter this team without the items, and everybody was talking about it. It was really funny because like it was like, oh, like it's Rockhead. Like people were theorizing that was Rockhead, Hisuian Arcanine, because with Hisuian Zoroark you can lead it. They won't in CTS. This is even better. They'll see it, and because it's Rockhead, you won't know that it's like they'll see the Hisuian Arcanine come out, think it's Zoroark because they don't see the Intimidate, and then you just have Rockhead and you can just click Head Smash or Flare Blitz, which is just so funny. Again, it has Hearthstone to increase that damage from Rock Slide and Head Smash, which is cool. We have a Choice Scarf Hisuian Zoroark. It does have Will-O-Wisp and Psychic and Icy Wind, as well as Shadow Ball. More of a supportive role. Surprised not to see Bitter Malice on this due to the fact that they don't have an Incineroar, but maybe the attack drop wasn't too important to them and they did just want the damage on the Shadow Ball. We have Citrus Berry, Serena, Queenly Majesty protects from priority moves, so it's sort of like OG for Farigiraf. It has Power Whip, Triple Axle, Low Kick, not many moves that can hit very hard. Then we have Fairy Feather, Whimsicott. So instead of Focus Sash, Fairy Feather is an item that looks like it's picking up a little bit. That's going to be Moonblast, Tailwind, Protect, and Encore there. That Moonblast is going to give you big damage with Fairy Feather and next to Floette. It's just so much damage coming off of your Mega Floette. Or sorry, your Whimsicott next to your Mega Floette. And then to round off the team, we have Focus Sash, Aegislash. Focus Sash, Aegislash is going to just live like a Last Respects and Revenge KO with Poltergeist, or if they are a Sashed Basque Legion, you can Revenge Kill with Poltergeist Shadow Sneak if they don't have Aqua Jet, and maybe this Floette, since this Aegislash doesn't need bulk, it might be trained to be faster than min speed Basky Legion, which is interesting. Not min speed, sorry. 130 speed Basky Legion, like non-nature boosted. I don't even know if Aegislash can get to that, actually. Arxabi is playing a similar team to what one. Actually, it might be the same team to what one. No, it's no, it's not. The team that won had a Basket Legion. But overall, Charizard Y plus Floette, this is a very powerful combination. Just so strong, so devastating. We have that Black Glasses King Gambit next to these guys. The King Gambit and the Sneasler we've talked about, preventing the Incineroar from feeling very well. And then we have the Choice Scarf Garchomp next to that, followed by a Focus Sash Aerodactyl this time for your Tailwind control, featuring Rock Slide, Dual Wing Beat, Tailwind, and Protect. Other than that, this is all pretty standard. Actually, they have a Gunk Shot on their Sneasler instead of Dire Claw, which is not the standard. So that is interesting to note. Maybe they wanted the damage output on something. Maybe the bulkier Floettes, they wanted the guaranteed KO on, and that's why they run Gunk Shot. So after that, we have HQ 2009, who is going to be playing a Frostlass team. It looks like a Mega Frostlass team. And this one is using Blizzard Shadow Ball Aurora Veil. We have that White Herb Sneasler again, back on Dire Claw. Citrus Berry Rotom. Rotom's just such a good mon right now. Has so many different ways to be played. This one's a Nasty Plot set with Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, Nasty Plot, Protect. You can click EQ next to your Soft Sand Garchomp next to it, get your Nasty Plot up, and you have such good coverage now with Thunderbolt and Hydro Pump. And Rotom's speed stat's actually somewhat interesting in this format. I've seen quite a few people talk about how like if the power level of format is determined by how good a Rotom is. And like on this team, right, like Rotom is surprisingly good. Next we have Talonflame. This is a Sharpbeak version that's running Brave Bird, Will-O-Wisp, Tailwind, Protect. Brave Bird is, you get to hold your item. However, you're going to lose your Gale Wings, which is why some people are playing Acro. I think both are fine. Personally, I think Acro is just more fun because you don't have to use an item, and that's just so unique that you don't use an item. And then this King Gambit is a low kick version instead of an Iron Head version. They do have ways to deal with Floette on this team, it looks like, via the Sneasler, as well as I'm sure Brave Bird is chunking it for quite a bit. And once you get an Aurora Veil up, it's actually somewhat manageable. And then Rotom Wash is also incredibly bulky, so once you get a Nasty Plot up, you can just Thunderbolt it. Next, we have Figgy Monster with one of the more unique teams in this tournament, and that's going to be this sort of Hisuian Typhlosion, which we saw a lot in Reg H, next to a lot of strong Pokemon. Okay, so we have Focus Sash Whimsicott. This one is no Protect. It has Sunny Day instead of Protect, so it's Encore Tail and Moonblast. We have Choice Scarf Typhlosion with Heat Wave, Eruption, Overheat, Shadow Ball. Those are just so much damage. Obviously, without Terra, you don't have the Terra Fire, but the format's power level is surprisingly low, so you actually don't really need Terra for a lot of KOs right now. We have Miracle Seed Serena just to get more damage off on the Power Whip. It has Triple Axle and Helping Hand. You can sit this next to your Hisuian Typhlosion to protect it from Sucker Punches from King Gambit. It's also not weak to Kowtow from King Gambit. So you are able to just Helping Hand and Eruption. This team is all about, looks like, getting damage off with your big Eruption and then having Floette or Hisuian Typhlosion for cleanup, because your powerful spread move on Floette is going to be that Dazzling Gleam, and you do have the Helping Hand next to that as well. Additionally, this is 3 attack Floette, which we have talked about is just very good. And then we have the Paldean Tauros Aqua Breed. This is a mon that was from before when I started playing. I know was somewhat popular during the early regulations of Scarlet and Violet. People called it Budget or Shifu for a long time just because the typing is pretty good. You have access to close combat plus a strong slew of water moves in Aqua Jet and Wave Crash. And then it does just have Intimidate, which is one of the best abilities of all time in Pokemon. This one with Mystic Water, it's funny, we are just running a lot of damage boosting items because the item pool is so limited. Then we have Dragapult with Colbur Berry, Clear Body, Sucker Punch, D-Darts, and Psychic Fangs. Psychic Fangs screens can be annoying for sure, and Psychic Fangs has the added benefit of breaking them. The team probably struggled a little bit into those. There was a couple Sableye teams running around on ladder, as well as a Frostlass breaking Aurora Veil is interesting. Don't know if you bring Dragon Darts into that matchup, but it is interesting. Sucker Punch is there, I guess, for the Frostlass as well after that Aurora Veil is gone. So it could be a thought. Dragapult's, again, just a super unique team. We're not really going to see another team like this, but it's super interesting. After Figgy Monster, we are now in the top 10. Figgy Monster was 10th. We have Guju. Don't know how to say that. But we have, again, this is Calm Mind Floette. I believe this is going to be the highest placing Calm Mind Floette. And it's actually supported by quite a bit of powerful mons. We have Sharpbeak, Talonflame, again, this one featuring Dual Wing Beat, Flare Blitz, Protect, and Tailwind. So we have a different move, this time being Dual Wing Beat. We have Soft Sand Garchomp with EQ, Stomping, and Rock Slide. We're forgoing the Dragon move, which is cool. You don't really need the Dragon move too much because you do have that Floette. And then we have Incineroar with Citrus Berry, Intimidate, Flare Blitz, Throat Chop, Fake Out, Parting Shot. Just a standard set. We have the Milotic. This one is Ice Beam instead of Icy Wind, and it's Life Dew, which is pretty cool instead of Recover. That way you can heal your partner Floette, in substitute of sort of Sinistra that has been on these teams in the past. And then for our Ghost type, we're rounding it off with Aegislash, who right now actually feels like has a pretty solid spot into the meta. The the Ghost and the Steel types is actually a type that is relatively low population for good mons. And obviously I think this would be a Goldengo, but we don't have Goldengo, so Aegislash is sort of the original Goldengo from my understanding of like the unks who used to play VGC that I talked to. That's what they've said is like Goldengo just feels like what Aegislash felt like back in the day. And I think Aegislash is finding a niche here. I think that's really cool. With King Shield, Poltergeist, Ironhead, and Shadow Snake, we've seen some drop the Ironhead for the close combat or the Sacred Sword. This one is opting for the Ironhead. They don't really need the close combat for anything here, so that's probably why they did that. After Gaju, we have IDC Zac. This is a Trick Room team. This is going to be featuring Mega Kangaskhan and Mega Charizard, which is really cool. We have a 4-attack Sneasler. Actually, we have a lot of 4 attacks here because the Kangaskhan doesn't have Protect. It's actually Double-Edged, Fake Out, Hammer Arm, and Ice Punch. No Drain Punch and no Sucker Punch. Very, very cool, actually. The Double Edge is so much damage coming off this Kangaskhan. Fake Out, with Scrappy allowing you to fake out Ghost types before you Mega is really cool. And then Ice Punch 4 damage into like that Garchomp. And I'm sure actually even bulkier Garchomps don't love taking an Ice Punch twice from a Mega Kangaskhan, which is pretty good. 4-attack Sneasler is really cool. You have White Herb, and instead of Protect, you're running a U-Turn, which is actually really interesting. Following that, we have Citrus Berry, Farigiraf. This is pretty standard. This is your bulky set with Psychic, Hyper Voice, Trick Room, and Protect. And then after that, we have our Charizard Y. I'm sure this is somewhat of a slower Charizard Y. It could be fast for like a late game sweeper, but I'm sure this is probably a little bit more of a slower one to be utilized under that Trick Room. We also have Torkoal for Trick Room. Weather Ball, Eruption, Heat Wave, Protect. Torkoal is just such a strong mon. Those Charcoal Eruptions under Trick Room, there's not a whole lot you can do about them. They take so much damage. And then Primarina with Mystic Water. This has Liquid Voice, Hyper Voice, Moonblast, Substitute, and Protect. Sub's really cool. You could run Calm Mind in that slot. You could also run like Aqua Jet or Encore I've seen. But Sub's cool because you can set that Sub on a turn that your opponent's double protecting to punish a double protect under Trick Room, which is actually something really strong to utilize as well. This is a very unique adaptation on the Primarina that I like a lot. Next, we have Leokos, who is playing a Rain team with Manual Rain through Sableye with Encore Disable and Will-O-Wisp. So you have Priority Encore Disable with Sableye. You have Wisp for support and Priority Rain Dance. So if you're playing against a Mega that sets the weather, they will never be able to set their weather with Sableye on board. You also have your Pelipper for your ability weather. It also is not running Protect. It has Tailwind and Wide Guard, which is actually cool that you get both your supportive moves there. Archaldon is very, very strong. Obviously, it lost Body Press, so now we're just running Protect with lefties instead of Stamina, or instead of Assault Vest and Body Press. I'm sure when Assault Vest comes back, we'll probably just slap that on and drop Protect for Snarl. Then we have Choice Scarf Basculegion. This is very strong. Choice Scarf Basculegion means you can play outside of Rain with Last Respects, picking up a lot of KOs. Very cool. And then we have Mega Venusaur for our Mega. It has the ability Chlorophyll. Probably going to Mega out of that for Thick Fat most of the time. And then you have Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Earth Power. It's just going to be so bulky and gaining so much HP back with Giga Drain for anything that's neutral or super effective. And then just chunking away damage elsewhere with Sludge Bomb and Earth Power. Just a super bulky Mega. And we have Focus Sash King Gambit, which is insane to me. It's like, why would I bother with Choppleberry when my opponent could be running Adamant Sneasler? And so I'm sure this King Gambit is just max. We're on Sucker Punch, Low Kick, Iron Head. No Kowtow Cleave, because King Gambit's speed isn't very high. You're not going to be getting your Kowtows off much anyways, so you'd probably just rather have the Iron Head or Low Kick and then clean up with Sucker. Very cool adaptation with Focus Sash King Gambit. I think that's really sick. Next, we have Michael, their bestie, getting 6th place. Michael is insane. He was playing in the Prague Regional this weekend, and then he played day 1 of the Grand Champions Festival right after Prague Regional. And then I'm assuming he slept for maybe a couple hours and then had Prague. Oh, actually, I think he was able to sleep and then play this, but I believe he had to play on the train or the car ride for his top cut games, which is just his day 2 games actually, which is just crazy. Very cool team over here. The Colberberry Aegislash with Geist, Shadow Sneak, Sacred Sword, King's Shield, Citrus Berry Whimsicott with Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, Protect, Mega Gengar. This is a Gengar balance team similar to the one he played in the Victory Road Tour a couple weeks ago, with Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, Disable, Protect, dropping the Parasong that some of the other ones were playing, and we'll talk about why here in a second. Choice Scarf Garchomp with EQ, Stomping, Rock Slide, Rock Tomb, dropping the Dragon move for speed control via Rock Tomb on a fast mon already with Choice Scarf Garchomp's really, really cool. And I actually think this is an adaptation we'll see a lot more. Then we have Focus Sash, Alolan Ninetales with Blizzard, Freeze Dry, Encore, Protect. Now, dropping the Disable from Alolan Ninetales allows you to put it on Gengar. Or sorry, dropping the Parasong from Gengar allows you to put the Disable on there, freeing a slot from the Ninetales, giving you another move. In this case, it's going to be Freeze Dry for those opposing Milotics, which are annoying for your Incineroar. Additionally, you could run Aurora Veil here if you wanted to, but I think Freeze Dry is really cool. With how strong Milotic has been this past week or two, I think this is something that will pick up a lot more. Shuckaberry and Incineroar to, you know, help even more against opposing Garchomps and ground moves in general against like Sand with like Exca. Shuckaberry is just going to help you take like an EQ or maybe 2 after an Intimidate actually, which is maybe you'll live 2 after an Intimidate, which is really cool. And then he is opting for Throat Chop over Darkest Lariat. Other than that, it is a standard set on the Incineroar. Then we have Testing 800 here. Testing 800 is going to be playing Mega Aerodactyl with Mega Scovillain. The second time we've seen Mega Scovillain here, and not on the triple Mega team, but this time paired next to Mega Aerodactyl. I think Mega Aerodactyl is a good partner for Scovillain because, like I said, you don't actually have to Mega, and it's still very strong. So you can bring both frequently. And then this one is this Scovillain is featuring Overheat, Leech Seed, Rage Powder, Protect, just super supportive. Leftovers Como is soundproof. This means you can't lose to things like Parasong. Additionally, the opposing Comos and Hyper Voice are just things you can dodge. Hyper Voice is especially big right now with Sylveon and Gardevoir both being somewhat relevant in the meta. We have Clanging Scales, Aurora Sphere, and Clangorous Soul. Just for your boost with Clangorous Soul, and then Aura Sphere and Clanging Scales for your coverage, your stab moves. We have White Herb Sneasel with the standard set of Close Combat, Die Claw, Fake Out, Protect. Then we have Choppleberry King Gambit. This one is featuring Iron Head instead of Low Kick, and that is very standard. Citrus Basky Legion. We've been seeing these Citrus Basky Legions pop up, these bulky sets. It has Wave Crash, Last Respects, Aqua Jet, and Protect, featuring adaptability. Bulky Basky Legion is really powerful right now as well. Into our top 4, we have Super Santi, featuring a similar team to what MDB was featuring, and I think Ninetales and Gengar are going to be the 2 standouts from this tournament that they had really strong performances. I think a lot of people are going to look at the Scovillains too, but I think these 2 are ones they should keep an eye on. We have a Gengar here, this one with Parasong over Disable with Mega Gengar Right. And then we have, Mega Gengar Right, but it also has Gengar Right. Then we have Focus Sash Sneasler. This is the Unburdened Focus Sash Sneasler that we talked about a little earlier. So if you get like Acro, then your Focus Sash is broken. If they have Brave Bird, even better because now you're faster than them. And you do have that Fake Out, Close Combat, Dire Claw. Citrus Instant, this one is actually playing Protect instead of their Dark move. They're on Flare Blitz for their attacking move and Protect, which does make sense since you have Parasong. You are going to want Protect on every single one of your Pokemon if you get into a Parasong endgame. Then we have King Gambit. This one is Low Kick instead of Iron Head, but Choppleberry. Never Melt Ice, Alolan Ninetales with Encore, Disable, and Blizzard, and Protect. And then Dragonite, this is that Dragon Fang set. This one actually, I thought it might have had Extreme Speed, Tailwind, but it doesn't. It has Extreme Speed. So it's going to be Dragon Claw and Low Kick, as well as that Extreme Speed and Protect. Dragon Claw from Dragon Fang Dragonite is doing a lot of damage. That's another big takeaway here. And we do see on this team, I think we talked about it earlier as well, we have the Steel Fairy Dragon Core. This is equivalent to your Grass Water Fire Core for anyone who's newer to VGC. That is called the Fantasy Core, and then there's the Starter Core, which are sort of like your defensive backbone when you're building a team. It's not a hard rule. Lots of teams don't use it, but if you're just starting out, it is good to know that, hey, I have 3 Pokemon on this team that have good type synergy and type coverage defensively and offensively between each other. So that Fantasy Core is good to note there. On to our 3rd place, we have Samuel. So Samuel was playing Mega Floette as a solo Mega. We do have that triple triple attacks, Rock Slide, Dual Wing Beat, Tailwind on the arrow with Focus Sash. White Herb Garchomp, not as common. White Herb Swords Dance Garchomp is actually super cool because you're always going to be 1-up after they cycle Ensigns. And I'm sure +1 EQ is KOing almost every non-Shuckaberry Ensign. We have Spell Tag, Aegislash. This one is Iron Head instead of a fighting move. Like I said, this is somewhat normal at this point. Then we have Citrus Berry, Rotom. This one with Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, Will-O-Wisp, Protect. You can have this next to your Garchomp and just EQ away next to this and your Aerodactyl, which is very cool. And then our Incineroar here is Flare Blitz, Darkest Lariat, Fake Out, Parting Shot. And this is a Charcoal Incineroar. This was a little bit of a talk. I would say this is a standard Incineroar, but Flare Blitz is super interesting because you are getting a damage boost with your Charcoal. So like against Charizard teams, your Flare Blitz is just doing so much damage. Your Flare Blitz is doing so much damage anyways. 120 base power move coming off a Pokemon that doesn't have a bad attacking stat with a Charcoal boost is very, very good. So very cool team here, Samuel. I think this will be one of the more standard like flow up balance teams we see in the future. It just has all of the makings for a good balanced team. Okay, in second place, we have Mega Umbreon VGC here with a Mega Frostlass team. So this is Mega Frostlass with White Herb Sneasler, featuring the standards that we're used to. Chople Berry, Kingambit, this one featuring Low Kick. Focus Sash, Adaptability, Basculegion. Then we have that Dragon Fang Dragonite back here. This one's actually dropping Protect for Tailwind. So it's 4 attacks. And we're keeping the low kick. The low kick is very important to have on both Kingambit and Dragonite on this team because this team does struggle a little bit into the sand teams just due to the nature of your Mega being Frostlass and it being a solo Mega. Having that low kick to just KO both of their main Pokemon is very, very good. Then we have Milotic. This one is Protect, Scald, Icy Wind, and Life Dew. Life Dew just to give general healing to itself and its partners, and then Citrus Berry for its own healing through itself. This is cool instead of Leftovers because you get a larger chunk of healing right away. And then Frostlass, this one is Protect, Blizzard, Shadow Ball, and Aurora Veil. Very, very strong here. Congrats to Mega Umbreon VGC for second place in the biggest Pokemon VGC tournament of all time. Congratulations. I also believe, if I remember right, this is his second strong performance in a tournament, and his first was like a top 64 in Houston, I believe. So getting second in the biggest tournament of all time is so cool. So big congrats to you, and I hope to see your success in the future. And in first place, 18-1, we have Raghav here with Charizard Y. So Charizard Y and Floette. This is going to be a dual Mega team featuring Heat Wave, Weather Ball, Solar Beam, Mega Charizard Y, Eternal Flower Floette with Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast, and Light of Ruin, Light Beam, as well as Protect. Then we have the Dragon Fang Garchomp for more damage on your Scale Shot, because, you know, that's a move it can click. Earthquake and Stomping Tantrum. Then we have Choice Scarf, Adaptability, Basculegion. I think there's 2 very strong items on right now. That's Choice Scarf or Focus Sash. Seems like Choice Scarf is what won this tournament. Definitely expect to see this around. Definitely expect to see this team around. Raghav will probably be on Colin and his channel talking about this team at some point. So I'll actually link the Battleroom down below if you're not familiar with it already, because I'm sure they will talk about this team at some point extensively. And then we have Focus Sash Aerodactyl. Interestingly enough, dropping Dual Wing Beat for Wide Guard. Wide Guard's really cool in the mirror match. It's really cool because you can Wide Guard next to your EQ Garchomp. Not that it matters because actually Aerodactyl's flying anyways. But the Wide Guard is just cool for like Dazzling Gleams, Heat Waves, Rock Slides. This seems quite weak to Rock Slides, so having that is very good. And then Kingambit with Chople Berry. This one is featuring Low Kick. So congratulations, Raghav, on winning the biggest Pokemon VGC tournament of all time. And that, guys, is all of the teams from this tournament. This video has been a little longer. I didn't go into too much detail. I would like to cover the metagame of this tournament as well. We can talk about it briefly here. Basically, Sneasler, the top 3 usage were Sneasler, Garchomp, and Incineroar, but Sneasler by a large margin. And that's the biggest takeaway here. The most popular Mega was Charizard, which makes sense because it has 2 different versions. T-Tar, popular here. Probably not the Mega. The Pokemon that is like guaranteed Mega on every single team is Eternal Flower Floette as the 3rd most popular here. Could have been Aerodactyl too. This Mega Arrow is counting these numbers, but most of these are not Mega Aerodactyl. But overall, that was the metagame. That was the tops for this tournament. I would love to go in more detail about the metagame of this tournament. We have a lot of cool things and numbers to talk about here if you guys are interested in that. But overall, thank you so much to Scraw for hosting this tournament. I'll have Scraw's links in the description down below. Thank you to everybody who made this tournament possible. I know all the sponsors for the tournament helped, all the people who were commentating and part of production, the judges, just so many people went into making this tournament happen, and it's just crazy how it all turned out. Between a relatively new player and an OG, right? Ragob's been playing for a long time. And then, like I said, Mega Umbreon VGC might be playing for a while, but has, this is their second big performance, which is incredible. So yeah, if you liked this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below what you want me to cover next. I like playing games. I'll probably be covering more teams. I have those working already. But if you like this type of content, like this analytical content, I really enjoy making this content. I come from a card game background, so this is very similar to what we do with like tournament results and covering that. This would be something I really enjoy doing. So if you like that, please let me know. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye.